Hello, and welcome to this podcast showing an example of how to apply the quotient property of exponents. With me today is my son Rafe, who is 8. He's going to learn along with us. Say hi, Rafe.
Hi.
Okay. Well, first a little background about dividing. Rafe and I were talking earlier about dividing, and he's in 3rd grade, so really, have you done division?
No.
Not really. So this is going to be something new for him. But what I talked about with him, and he kind of understands this, is that division is like breaking things into groups.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's kind of got that idea. So we're going to work through this example. The example we're going to start with is 4 to the 5th divided by 4 to the 2nd. And the subtraction symbol represents, or I'm sorry, the division symbol represents that this is a quotient. Okay? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to write this in expanded form. And Rafe, do you remember how many 4s should I have in the numerator?
5.
Okay, and how many 4s should I have in the denominator?
2.
Okay, let's take a look at this expanded form. Does that look right, Rafe?
Yep.
Okay, so we've done that part right. This actually is working through an expanded form, the longhand way of doing the problem, and later we'll shorten it with the rule, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to simplify this problem, and what we're going to decide is that if we have 4 divided by 4, that actually can be simplified to 1, right, Rafe?
1.
And how did you describe that to me?
Well, if you have a number and another number that's the same as it, you can only group it once.
Okay, you can only group it once. So that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to essentially, what we say a lot of times in math is we say we cancel if the factors are on the top and bottom. We actually are canceling it to 1. So when we simplify, we're actually going to write 4 times 4 times 4, because these 4s here have all simplified to 1. Okay? And there's the 1 in the denominator. And then we rewrote this. So, Rafe, if I have 4 times 4 times 4, we're going to use the power of...
I don't know.
Power is this?
3.
Oh, okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're dividing by 1. But we said, well, if we have 4 to the 3rd divided by 1, really it can just simplify to 4 to the 3rd. Now, my next question, Rafe, was if you're looking at this and back at the original part of the problem, okay, is there a way that you see that we could use the exponents we're given in the beginning to end up with 4 to the 3rd at the end?
You can take the 5 and you can minus the 2.
Okay, so really what we're saying in this rule is we could write 4 to the 5 minus 2, which would then result in 4 to the 3rd. Now, this way is obviously a lot shorter, isn't it? Right, and so the whole point of this quotient property is to make a shortcut. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could do this shortcut now, couldn't you? Yeah, so if I gave you another problem, do you think you could do it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try one. Okay, so we're going to try a problem for Rafe here. We're going to try 2 to the 6th divided by 2 to the 4th. Okay? Now, if you remember, the quotient property says if you're dividing powers at the same base, you could subtract exponents.
Yeah.
So what would you simplify this to, Rafe?
2 to the 2nd.
Okay, because 6 minus 4
is 2.
All right, great. Thanks for helping, Rafe.